7 and 8 ask us to find a point-slope form of an equation for the points that they give us. They only give us 2 points. That's all we get. We have an x and a y and an x and a y. We have to find point slope. So we have a point, right? We actually have 2 points. We only need 1, but they give us 2. We still need to find a slope. All right, so there's something we need to remember, that this is how we find slope given 2 points. It's the change in our y on top over the change in our x. So this is kind of like rise over run, same idea. Change in y over change in x. Now we have 2 y's here, -5 and 7, and we have 2 x's, 1 and -3. So we're going to use those to calculate our slope. So our y values, like I said, is going to be 7 and -5. So 7 minus a -5. Our x values is -3 minus 1 is our other value. So 7 minus a -5 is 12, same as addition. And -3 minus 1 is 4. So our slope here is going to be -3. 12 divided by -4 is -3. Alright, so let's put this into point slope form. We found our slope. So y minus y1, which is -5, so that's going to be the same as +5. Our slope is -3, and then we do x minus 1. So I use this first point, I use the slope I just calculated, and put it into point slope form. It's a -3. If you use the second point, you're going to get the right answer still. It's just going to look like y minus 7, and then over here we'd have x plus 3, but it'd still be correct. Alright, now we need to change this into slope-intercept form. Remember, slope-intercept form is like y equals mx plus b. So we need to have y by itself, and we don't want a parentheses. Okay, there's no parentheses in this form. So to get rid of a parentheses, we would distribute. I'm going to use red to show you it's the second part of the problem. Black, this black answer here is correct for A. Now I'm doing B. Alright, so if we distribute, it's -3. We have y plus 5 equals -3x. -3 times -1 is +3. And now to get y by itself, we have to subtract 5 to both sides. Okay? And now look, we have y by itself, so this is good. -3x. Over here we have 3 minus 5, which is -2. So here's our slope-intercept form equation answer. Here's my point slope. These are the same line. They both have these points in them, but they are, different forms of the same equation. Alright, if you're going to do number 8, I would suggest you pause it shortly here and try at least letter A, because that is also point slope. B is a little bit different, so I'll be working on that shortly. But try to pause it and just find this 8 letter A. Put it into point slope form. Alright, your chance to pause is over. I'm going to be calculating how to put this into point slope form. Once again, we need to use slope, so we've got to subtract the y's. The y's in this case would be 8 and 7, so we're going to do 8 minus 7. Here's y2, y1, 8 minus 7. The x's would be 3 minus a -5. So 3 minus a -5. Alright, so kind of something we've done before. We did it in the last couple problems. X, Y, X2, Y2. I don't have a ton of room here, but this would be like X1, Y1. This would be X2, Y2. So we're plugging it into these X2, Y2s and Y2, Y1s and stuff. Alright, so 8 minus 7 is going to be 1. 3 minus a -5 is going to be 8, because it's the same as addition. So we have 1 over 8 is our slope. Putting this into point slope form, we have y minus 7. That's my y1. My slope is 1 over 8. And then we have x plus 5, because it's a -5. So there's my point slope. I'm all set. Next, check yourself, make sure that's it. This is 1 over 8. Now we need to write this into standard form. Remember, standard form means we have x and y on the same side, and we have no fractions. So I can already tell we do have a fraction here. We're going to have to get rid of that at some point. Okay. First, I'm going to go ahead and distribute this just to get rid of our parentheses. So we have y minus 7. 1/8 times x is 1/8x. And then if you're unsure about this, 1 over 8 times 5 over 1. When you multiply fractions, we just multiply the top and multiply the bottom. So this is going to be 5/8. Okay, which makes sense. 1 over 8 times 5. If we have 5 1/8s, we have 5 of them. 5/8. So put that in your calculator if you need to double check it, but this is good. So we have a problem here. We have some fractions, all right, and we want to get x and y on the same side. Let's get rid of these fractions first. They're both 8, so that's good, because if all of them were 8, we can kind of cancel those out. So we're going to multiply everything by the denominator, which is 8. So we have 7 over 1, y over 1. If we multiply everything by 8, that will help us to cancel out these fractions. So 8 times 1y is 8y. Negative 7 times 8 is negative 56. And then we just have 1x and 5. We got rid of the fractions, so that's awesome. We're almost done. We just got to get x and y on the same side, and we don't want this negative 56 with the y. We want all this on the same side as well. So I'm going to subtract x to both sides, and I'm going to add 56 too at the same time. You can do these in 2 steps if you want. I'm just running out of room. So we're kind of just, as long as you do it to both sides, we're good. There's my equation. So these will cancel. Over here we're going to have 61. 56 plus 5 is 61. Over here we still have an 8y, and we have a negative x, because we can't combine those, right? So here's our standard form. Up here in red is our point slope form, and blue is our standard, and we're all done. Okay, if any of these steps were confusing to you or you're just unsure why, please rewatch the video. Try to listen to my explanation. I know I talk fast. Another way to learn or to figure out what's going on is to ask a neighbor or to ask Mr. Otten at the front of the room. All right, make sure you know this before test day.